Thank you and welcome. I'm Father Mitch Packel and welcome to EWTN Live. We bring you guests from around the world. And tonight we'll look at how the Maronite Catholic faith has spread around the world. So we will talk about the effects of that worldwide expansion that has had on such a close-knit faith culture such as the Maronites. Before we take a look at that, I want to talk briefly with EWTN's Len Marino about a cool new contest for EWTN viewers who are a lot younger than I. They are age 14 to 25. That'd be about my grandchildren, great-grandchildren's age, if I had any. Len, what you got for us?
Well, we got this Cool to be Catholic contest, and what it is, it's a film contest, 30 and 60-second videos done by students in high school, students in college, students in film school. So you have to be a registered student in high school, college, or a film school in order to enter. But we like to talk about subjects like the family, Eucharistic adoration, the church, and challenges of being, a Catholic in today's society.
Sure.
Yep. So you can find out more about it if you go to our website. It's cooltobecatholic.com. They'll probably put it right up there on the screen in a moment and get me off, and we'll talk about that. And then when you go to the site, you'll see a bunch of different stuff. And the first thing you want to do after reading all of the information is you want to go to the film kit. Okay, so you'll go down and you'll see, as you're seeing here, we've got information, what the grand prize winners are, the qualifications again that I just went over, and other information that you'll need to enter the contest. Then we go into, what are the subjects you want to talk about. And here's where you go. You go to cooltobecatholic.com and you download the film kit. If you want to roll that film kit so they can see that would be good as well. Yeah.
They got that. Good.
So there it is.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you all the forms you need, because when you're making spots for television, you have to, follow a special protocol. So we've got there what size the thing should be, releases, et cetera. It's all there for you on the website. And this is the relaunch of it. We started this contest back in 2016. Our first winner was from USC Film School. Our second year winner in film school was from USC Film School, both devout Catholics. In 2019, the winner of the Cool to be Catholic contest got a job here. And she works actually in the production department. She's not on the show tonight, but she works here. So, I mean, it's a great contest. We invite anybody that meets the criteria to enter. And that's all I got. Thanks for your time, because you're cool to be Catholic.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Feel a little long in the tooth to be too cool, but great to do that. Just go to cooltobecatholic.com and enter that contest. We'll be back in just a minute, so please stay with us. Good job. Thank you and welcome back. Our guest tonight is a Maronite priest currently serving at St. Elias Maronite Catholic Church right here in Birmingham, Alabama. And we'll talk about the Maronite faith and how it has spread across the world. We'll also discuss the reasons and effects that development has had on the Maronites, both internationally and in their home country of Lebanon. So please welcome Father Jean Maroun Helou. Abuna, thank you. Good to have you with us. Just so folks know, where were you from? Where were you born?
Actually, I would like, before I start,
Yeah?
to to express my gratitude and my happiness to be with you on this program and this television.
Oh, glad to have you.
Especially on this great feast for me is the feast of Saint John Maron, the saint who I carry his name. And I ask his blessings, and I thank you. I thanks you.
Thank
and
you.
Thank him also.
St. John Maroon was one of the Maronite saints, and so he's in the Maronite liturgical calendar, but most of the rest of the church doesn't know about him yet.
That's
So
true.
happy Saint Day to you.
Thank you.
So obviously from people listening to you, where are you from originally?
I am from Lebanon,
And you've not been in America very long, right?
around 14 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your background is in sociology, correct? This is
Yes,
your
that's-
professional
that's
training.
true. Yeah.
And you studied the immigration process.
Yes. And my thesis title was How the Maronite Church Faced the Challenge of Immigration.
Yes. This is very large. I've heard that there are more Maronites living around the world than in Lebanon.
Yes.
Would that be
that's
true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, what is the result of this immigration?
Okay. Also, I would like to start because sociologists usually we have two fields to explore. The native country, this is a field, how people live there and why they live this country, what is the push reasons. And the next field is complementary, the countries of installation, why
Yes.
they go there, not there, not there, and how they live, their integration, and all this process of assimilation and socialization.
Sure.
So for this, I would like to mention something about Lebanon first.
Yeah.
And actually, in my thesis, I used the concept sometimes of Maronite immigration, sometimes Lebanese immigration. It overlaps, but not always. Why? Because the immigration starts from Lebanon before the date when Lebanon is established as official country, official state country, and take his independence. It was in 1943.
Yes.
But the immigration started in 1860, 8 years before this. And in this time, immigrated, sometimes they call them Turcos, sometimes Syrian, sometimes, but no so many time Lebanese. So for this, I use this word, Maronite immigration.
And if I can just add for our audience that at the time of the immigration starting in the 1860s, the Lebanon was not its own country. It was part of the Ottoman Turkish Empire.
That's the truth.
And this was, the empire lasted until 1917. And then it fell apart after World War I, was divided up. And Lebanon was a protectorate of the French.
Yes.
The French were in charge of Syria and Lebanon, the English in charge of Jordan and Palestine in those days.
That's correct, but also I would like to add other differences. When I speak about Maronite immigration, it doesn't mean especially Lebanese, because we have Maronite in Egypt, also they have immigrated, especially to Canada. Maronite in Turkey, the majority was immigrated. In Holy Land, in Syria, sure, and also many of them immigrated to Venezuela and other countries. So for this, I prefer to use Maronite immigration. The majority of this Maronite people, sure, was installed in Lebanon, and they are Lebanese, but not all Lebanese. This I would like to mention.
Yeah, and again, just to add that there are other communities in Lebanon. There are Shiite Muslims, Sunni Muslims, and Druze, as well as many Greek Orthodox, Syrian Orthodox, Armenians.
Actually,
so
we
it's
have
diverse.
18 confessions.
Yes.
11 Christian, but all are old, and 7 of them are Muslims.
Yes. So it's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, it's a big diversity and multiplicity.
yes.
So this increase the immigration. How? First, I would like to mention the geography also of Lebanon. Lebanon is a mount, you know, laying on the coast, near the sea, Mediterranean one. And today they speak so much about how the environment affects the culture of people and their behavior, science. So in Lebanon, because of the location of Lebanon, immigration became a element, constituent element about our culture. So when people immigrate, is in their DNA, if we can see. And it starts with Phoenician.
Yes.
It's not so new. But also what I discover, usually immigration is a human act. All people immigrate, and especially on this day with globalization, it increases, and so many people move from a country to other country for work, for life, for get married, etc. But in Lebanon, it is a historical fact because it starts with Phoenician. It continues all our history. But I would like to mention about modern immigration. This one started on 1860, is the immigration, normal immigration. People left their country to live or install in other country. But what happened is a specs for Maronite immigration. Usually when people move, okay, they finish a stage from their life and start a new one in New England. But with Maronite, it doesn't work like this. These people left their country, but to bring with them their country and their heart, especially their customs, their tradition, and especially their religion. Religion, their faith, Catholic, Syriac faith, we call this Maronite, because we are Catholic and we are Syriac, and we are Eastern. So for this, the church, Maronite church, when she convoked this Maronite synod during year 23rd until 26, 2006, they used a new concept to express immigration. They didn't say immigration. They used the concept of expansion.
Yes.
Okay, what is expansion? In science, they don't use this. But why they choose this concept? Because it reflects the truth. These Maronite people, despite they left their countries, they bring Lebanon or other countries with them, and especially their faith. How and why? They stay connected to their source, their identity, Maronite identity, like the sunbeam, you know? The sun is the source and sends a rays. So these people make the same. They left, and first they arrived to all the country, not only on the United States. They asked their priests to come and celebrate masses for them to continue living according to their faith. It's wonderful. And there are poor people. For them to do this is so hard, you know, to pay money and to take care or to establish parishes. It requires so much sacrifices, but they do this because they are attached to their faith and to their tradition. This is a big difference between the Maronite immigration and all the others. Okay?
One of the things that I know from St. Elias, because this, a lot of the audience has heard me talk about it, but this is where I celebrate Mass on Sundays. When I'm here in Birmingham, I generally go over to St. Elias and celebrate the liturgy called Korbono, which is Syriac or Aramaic for the liturgy, the offering. And I know from our parishioners that over 100 years ago, almost 110 years ago, it was Lebanese women making food and selling it that helped to buy the land in the church building. This happened elsewhere. In St. Louis, the cathedral, co-cathedral of St. Raymond, was built by women selling lunches on Wednesdays downtown St. Louis in order to raise money to build the first church. This kind of commitment uses their Lebanese background, in terms of the food they make. They make Lebanese food, and they also make a business from this for the sake of the church. It's a generosity that uses their identity to continue their identity.
Is one of our customs, because in Lebanon we have hospitality. Now, if you go to Lebanon, all people invite, despite they don't know you, come, drink coffee, come eat with us. Is our life. But what you mentioned is so important, but it's not in small level or low level. It's everywhere.
Yes.
Today Maronite are installed in 5 continents. From a long time, not from this time. It started from 1860s and didn't stop. Always we continue to immigrate. Actually, here, to be precise, during our history, 5 waves of immigration happened. The first start after this genocide. Why in 1860? Because in 1861, unfortunately, some conflict happened on the Mount of Lebanon between Druze and Maronite. Then they have genocide against Maronite.
Yes.
And after this, France, Napoleon, sent his army to establish peace and help people to come over in their village in Mount Lebanon. But from this time, many people start to think why we have to continue to live in this land, why we don't live, we don't reach other country where we can live more in peace. Then the first immigrated in modern immigration, called Antoun Bachalani, left Lebanon and came to Boston in America. So it started in the United States, but not only in the United States. Also from this century, the end of 19th century, they went to South Africa, to Australia, many countries on Africa, to South America, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, Peru, all. Now Maronites are spread around more than 100 countries on the world. And the majority of these countries, they established parishes. And after parishes come eparchy and bishops.
And so folks understand, an eparchy is the Eastern Rite term for a diocese. Diocese is a Latin word, eparchy is a Greek word. This is the word that we use for the equivalent of our diocese. So, and there are dioceses in Australia, Africa, Mexico,
everywhere.
Canada, here.
And we have 10 dioceses overseas.
Yes.
And 10 in Lebanon. 9 in Lebanon, with 3 for the patriarch. Actually, I would like also to talk about how this immigration affects our faith, not in the main of deposit of faith. Our faith is Catholic faith. But our witness and our mission and how we live and we comprehend our faith. It affects this. And also affect our church. So what happened? After these people bring with them their faith and start to establish parishes, with long time. It started in 1860 until 2003, when this Maronite Patriarch Synod was convoked. Okay? Then it was a wonder for the church, our patriarch and the bishops in Lebanon, to discover how this church, Maronite church, is thrive around the whole world, the worldwide. Then they adopt a new vision for the Maronite church. It contains on this You know, Maronite Church is an Eastern church. Her geography is Antioch. It means Turkey, Syria, Egypt, Holy Land, Lebanon, Cyprus. But now, the Maronite people in Lebanon, if we can say, maybe they are around 1 million. Yeah? But throughout the world, they are around 10 million. Yeah, it's a small flock, a small one, but for us, it's not small, and for Jesus also, it's so worthy. So then the immigration or the expansion affects the church itself. It transformed to be a local church, Antiochian one, to be a kind of universal church. Universal, not like the Catholic, but in some way universal. And now they start to think how we have to carry our Maronite mission. It means our faith and our living for our faith, our liturgy, our tradition, our science, our history, our Holy Land, how we have to carry this for the whole world, and what is our role with the Universal Church, Catholic one, under the Pope. So it's so important, and it requires so much work, and I think we have to start on this, to do this, because it's so important for the whole world. Mm-hmm. Now, for example, this vice president here mentioned cool Catholic, cool to be Catholic. Okay? Mm-hmm. We are Catholic, but it's not cool. We always struggle to be Catholic, especially in our land, in our country, in Lebanon and all the other countries. Mm-hmm. So we have so much martyrs. Many of them are saints. We have so much hermits. One of them is saints. Saint Charbel is famous. But today, the church said, that's not my opinion, God called us to carry this mission throughout for the worldwide. And we start to do this. And this first level. Second level. First, when, for example, our patriarch make a speech, okay, or wrote a encyclic or a letter, mm-hmm. Okay, first it was for Lebanese, okay, or Syrian, or, the Antiochian geography. Now, no, it changed. We think about all people everywhere. They use this word under the sky everywhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, it's so important for our witnesses. And it means God opened a door for us to be his witnesses everywhere. And it's so important for us. Because from the early century, Syriac church, we are Syriac, has a high, zealous missionary. And they went and preached India. You know this. Still now we have 2 Syriac churches in India.
India, yeah.
With time, because I don't know why, for many reasons, I cannot mention now. With time, this zealous missionary go down. Now, our fathers on the synod say it's time God call us to renew our church and be more missionary and make witness not only in our local geographic, this country in East, Middle East, no, throughout, rather in all the world. And it's so important for our mission, and for our how we live our faith, how we testimony our attached to Jesus. Okay? Mm-hmm. How? And the third level also is how immigration changed our mind. They call this cultural openness, because if you live in a limited geography, you think your boundary will be so narrow.
Yeah, if everybody just stayed in Lebanon, it would just be this local kind of culture.
Yes.
But not anymore.
Yeah, but now, no. We think and we pray and we work for the whole world. And it's so important. It's like our Lord transform our church to be more, to preserve her mission in our world today with globalization. We became global.
Yes.
But actually, this work, we have so many challenges to success on this. Yeah. So I mentioned only three. First is the unity of our church. You know, Maronite Church is patriarchal church.
Yeah, let me explain a little bit about that. You know, the church has a number of patriarchates.
Yeah.
Some of they go back to the apostles. So Jerusalem is the patriarchate of St. James. There's also a patriarch in Alexandria. This is the church that St. Mark the evangelist started after Peter sent him to Alexandria. But Antioch was the third largest city in the Roman Empire. So it was a huge city, extremely important. And St. Paul and St. Peter went there. And now the church in Antioch has been, from the apostles, a patriarchal church. And the Pope is the patriarch of the West. So he's the Pope of the whole church, but he's also the patriarch of the Roman Rite. And just like the Patriarch of Alexandria is the Patriarch of the Coptic Rite. A lot of, especially Latin Rite Catholics, are not so aware about the patriarchates, and that the Patriarch of the Maronites does not live in Antioch. It's politics don't permit that. But he is still called the Patriarch of Antioch and all the East. There's also a patriarch in Babylon, for the Chaldean community, the Chaldean church. So these are, and again, a lot of Roman Rite Catholics are unaware of this, but the Maronite community is a church. And the Copts are a church, and the Armenian Catholics are their own church. But they're all under the Pope. They all have their own patriarchs, and they're all under the Pope. And there are 22 of these churches in the Catholic Church, and we're all part of it. So just so folks understand, when you talk about the patriarch, this is the kind of thing that is, I've become accustomed to, having lived over in Israel for a while and visited Lebanon and being in the Maronite Rite as a bi-ritual priest. But a lot of folks don't, but they're all Catholic, and you can go to any one of the rites for Mass, for confession, that they're all the same sacraments, same Catholic Church, but the patriarch of each is the head of that church, along with the Pope, the head of the whole church.
Thank you for this clarification. So the first challenge is how people abroad in expansion have to start connected to the centrality of Patriarch. Now his see is in Lebanon.
Yes.
Okay. It's a little complicated. I don't want to go so deep on this, but only mention. The second is how these people in expansion have to preserve their identity is the most important thing. And third is about a new generation, what I mentioned, new generation. Because these people left Lebanon and they came everywhere. They know Lebanon, they know their customs, they know their traditions, our systems, social systems, about family, about values, about relation, all they live on this. New generations, they don't know this. For example, Lebanon, they are not Lebanese. For example, if they're born in America, they are American. But they are American Maronite. So how They have to preserve their identity. And the third is, what is Lebanon for them? So I would like to go on this second and third. First, Maronite is a religious identity. It's so important. The Synod put so much emphasis on this. We are not political. Okay? Despite the president of Lebanon is Maronite, is in our constitution. But Maronite is not political. We are Christian. So to be Maronite is a special way to follow Jesus according to our heritage and our tradition, Antiochian Syriac one. So they mentioned 5 elements about to define Maronite identity. These elements I like to mention. First, Maronite is an Antiochian church. It means we are Antiochian, like all the other Antiochian churches. Mm-hmm. Second, we are Syriac, and not like other Syriac churches. Third, we are Catholic under in communion with the Pope. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So fourth, we have some special ascetics and liturgy. 5 is most important. Maronite Church is incarnate in Lebanon and in the East, and now on the world. Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been privileged to do in my travel is celebrate the Maronite liturgy and be part of Maronite liturgy in Alexandria, Egypt, and in Cairo, as well as in Lebanon, and in Australia, and here in the United States. It's something that I've experienced this very much, that I can join in and celebrate the Korbono, or celebrate with the local priests and be very much part of that same Maronite community. Father, we have to stop a bit. We have to take a little break, but we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and also we'll want any of your questions and comments, so please stay with us. Thank you. Welcome back. Just want to remind you also that in May, I'm planning to take a pilgrimage group over to Poland. And if any of you are interested, we'll be especially focusing on Polish saints, including one that's very important to me, Saint Andrew Bobula. I took his name for my vow name when I took my vows as a Jesuit. But we'll be going in May. And if you want to find out more about it, go to Mateo Travel. You can find that online, and we'd be glad to have you come and join us. All right, Abuna, you ready for a question?
Yes, sure.
Let's start off with Mike in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mike, what can we do for you?
Yes, good evening, Father Mitch and Father Jean. I have a question. Do you think we should be praying with greater fervor to Saint Charbel Makhlouf, a Maronite monk, especially for his ability to unite Christians and Muslims? This is a special challenge for Catholics and Christians living in the Middle East today. Mm-hmm. And is there a strong Maronite contemplative tradition inside and outside of Lebanon today? And lastly, why is St. Charbel so popular in Eastern Orthodox tradition, places like Slovakia? And I'm half Slovak, so it kind of makes me wonder why he gets to be so popular in a landlocked, non-maritime nation?
Well, good set of questions. So first of all, Saint Charbel, will devotion to him help Christians and Muslims to come more together?
Actually, thanks for this question. In Lebanon, we make something on this way so important, not about Saint Charbel, it's about our Mother, Virgin Mary. In Lebanon, 25 of March is the Feast of the Annunciation. It's a national feast. We make so many encounters for Muslims and Christians around Mary, how Mary, like a mother, gathers the people. And it's a national feast, and so many people come from the world to us to attend so many celebrations on this feast. It's about the common ground with Muslims. And also, if you go to visit now about Saint Charbel, if you want to go visit Saint Charbel, you can see so many people, not Christian, not only Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, all kinds of religion. They came and pray to God and ask the intercession of Saint Charbel. And because we have one God, not two gods, so God hears the prayer of all his creation, and sometimes he makes miracles through Saint Charbel for Muslim people, and it consolidates the faith of these people and God of love. Yeah. And many of them became Christian. I know many of them became Christian. And I like you mentioned about Slovakia, because I visited for my studies 7 countries in Europe. Slovakia was one of them. In Slovakia, they have a special devotion to Saint Charbel. Also, they sell his book, 2 books, one book of prayer and one book about his life. It's the most sold book in Slovakia. And every 22 of months, they make in so many places, I attend one of them, they call this like a healing mass, and ask the intercession of Saint Charbel for healing, for benediction, for blessings. And so many times, because we have faith and we hope on God, God answers the petition of these people, and miracles happen. And for this, every year, they make pilgrimage to Lebanon, 5 full aircraft.
Yeah.
This happened in Slovakia.
And it's also happening in Poland. My cousin recently told me that, said, wow, this Saint Charbel, he's strong, but he's very popular in Poland. And he is tremendously loved in Mexico. Saint Charbel is very, very much loved in Mexico. And in our own Phoenix, Arizona, I heard about this woman that was healed of blindness by his intercession. A relic was touched to her eyes, and she was healed completely. And so now they have Mass, the Maronite Corbono, the Maronite liturgy, in Spanish. It's already been translated in South America, but they'll celebrate that. And so Saint Charbel is very, very popular in many more places.
Not only very popular, he is the first missionary today to spread the word of God and the mission of God according to Maronite faith and Maronite liturgy and Maronite science and Maronite heritage.
Yeah. So he's
not only popular.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's very much loved. Ma'am, where are you from?
Birmingham, Alabama.
And I see you over at St. Elias.
Yes, you do.
So, what's your question for our father?
Being a Maronite Catholic, growing up in Birmingham, going to the Roman Catholic schools, one of the main differences you learn is that the Roman Catholic rite, the priests can't marry, but the Maronite Catholic priests can. And when you talk about immigrating, you talk about all of the Maronites being all over the world. So my question is, did the people leave Lebanon and start the Maronite rite, or did the priest leave and start it? So how did they get around the world?
It's a good question.
Yes.
Actually, I met an American priest and he asked me a question similar to yours. He was wonder because the majority of our priests in Lebanon are not married. He told me, you have the chance, he used this word, you have the chance to be married and get family and be a priest. Why you choose to be celibate? It's so simple, because God called me and so many priests, not married, to be totally for him. And he will be our family, our future, and the children of our parishes will be our children. Mm-hmm. So, but I continue on your question. When the Maronite parishes start on the world, because we are under in the land of covering by the Pope, they refuse married priests to come to serve these people. But from around 7 years, I think, the Pope gave a permission to Maronite to have married priests in expansion. Mm-hmm. So now it's a change. And that's all. And that's good because it's an old tradition for us, and it's so good to have our liberty. Yeah? We hear what God needs for us. It's not mandatory to be priest and celibate. We can do. And that's a good tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and
Thank you.
a lot of times the married priests, of course, a lot of them they have to be married before they're ordained a priest.
Yeah.
They don't get married after ordination. That's part of, and that's not just Maronite. That's for all the Eastern churches, and it's also true for the Orthodox. They have to be married before ordination. And secondly, they have to be able to take care of their family. This is a challenge. It's not always it's being a married priest, whether in the United States or elsewhere, has its own challenges. And being the priest's wife and children have real challenges too. It's not like, oh, this is easier.
Yeah, but God, really, in Lebanon, God take care for the priest and his family. You don't have, we don't put so much emphasis on this. God take care for all people, the family of priest and his children and everybody. So I would like to continue our reflection.
Well, we have one more question. I have a caller. This is Naja. You're in Ohio?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
Naja.
can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you fine.
Okay, very well. Good evening and hello. Yes, I have a question for Father John. What do you think about the future of the Maronite community in Lebanon now?
Yeah, so what, the immigration has been very large, so the community is smaller than it once was. What's going on in Lebanon?
Actually, it's a so profound question, I cannot now give a total answer. I give some reflection about this. First, the church calls the immigration in synod hemorrhage, because it's not for Lebanon.
Hemorrhage.
Hemorrhage. Yeah, okay. Because we lose our skilled people, new generation. And I could cultivate, because now today immigration became more selective, so countries don't accept anybody. They need people with specialization and specialist STEM, engineering, doctors, and in Lebanon we have so much of this. But immigration is not good for Lebanon. But what happened? This calamities and catastrophe that push people to immigrate, God transformed them for a blessings to the church, because it's like the seed they planted out of Lebanon, and they thrive a new parish or a new church from the world. But it never means people from Lebanon is good for them or for Lebanon also to immigrate. But God makes this change. We cannot lead the history,
Right.
God is the leader of our history. And I can also add other things, and is mentioned on the synod. So these people abroad, because they carry Lebanon in their heart, okay? They are a big support for Lebanon, especially in this collapse. Now we have financial collapse, okay? And it's so clear, if we don't have these people abroad, they send money for their families in Lebanon. Maybe in Lebanon we have famine now, like after the First World War, we have famine. And in this time, 200,000 people was died by famine. Ottoman makes this. And maybe this time we could be the same, but these people abroad support Lebanon, financial, and support the case of Lebanon to preserve this country, to stay a mission, like what mentioned the Pope, St. John Paul II. Lebanon is not an ordinary country, is a message for the whole worldwide, a message of freedom and diversity and multiplicity is the
Yes.
sentence of St. So who makes this a true? These people abroad. So my faith and my prospection about this, Lebanon cannot never die because we have this wonder people full of faith, full of life, and they love their country, they love Jesus, and really, Jesus take care of us. And I finish with this, and thank you, Naja, for this. During our history, we have so much calamities and
Calamity.
catastrophe also.
Yeah, calamities.
But we continue from the year 60, 80, okay, after the Muslims conquest, okay, continue our witness and our mission and our life, and we are proud to be Christian with our citizen from other confession, and we love them, and they love us, sure, and we live conviviality despite all the challenges and conflict can happen in daily life. So my faith assure for me, Maronite cannot die, and if they cut them like the branch, they blossom again, and we will never die because we have our hope in Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. We also have a caller from John in Illinois. John, what can we do for you?
I'm wondering how many Maronite churches do we have within the United States, and are there any Maronite churches in the Chicago area? I'm about 25 miles outside of Chicago, so I'm wondering what the
Which
situation
direction?
is.
What suburb are you in?
Joliet,
Joliet. Okay.
Joliet, Illinois. Yeah.
Because there's one up in the a bit north. There is a Maronite church in Chicago.
Was there here? Yeah.
Yes.
In the city itself?
No, not in the city. It's in one of the northwest suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can check that out. And I think in our eparchy, there are what, 50
Around
parishes?
50, yeah. All the whole parishes are around 100.
Yeah, in the whole
Parishes and
country, it's about 100 Maronite churches.
Lord.
And in the eparchy Father Jean Maroon and I are in, which is the western one, that is about 50. So about 50 and 50.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Also want to mention that there is a Maronite exhibit here in Birmingham at Vulcan Park. This is about the history mostly of our parish, not only because there also are other folks
George,
from
St. George
St.
and St.
George,
Olivia.
but
Sister
it's
Church.
a big history of the Middle Eastern Christians here in Birmingham. It's a big community. St. George is Melkite, we are Maronite, and the two communities have both contributed to this exhibit, so that's going on. Abuna, we have 2 minutes,
2 minutes, okay.
left.
So to continue our reflection, how the Maronite identity helps these people abroad everywhere, is my studies.
Yes.
Field study. So I ask about this because I make a survey in 7 countries of Europe. So people first are proud to preserve their identity, especially in secular countries. All the countries of Europe are secularism. And it helps them to preserve their value, and most important, the family, because Maronite continue to live as family. Children live with their parents, and parents take care of their children. And it continues because not only them do this, but they continue to do this because, you know, in secularism, family, they put so much pressure under the family. And also, it helps them, protect them to be in seclusion, to be a ghetto, you know, because we are Christian, we cannot be ghetto. We have to be open and love everybody and accept multiplicity and diversity and work for this. And third, it helps them to be more human and show emphasis towards the people, despite their religion, their color, their race, their country. And it's so important for these people to live their integration in this new society and work for the good, public good for this society. For this Maronite people usually are omnipresent. They are so successful people, and they are proud to preserve their identity and make this testimony. Okay, we are Christian. We are from Lebanon. We are from Syria. We are from okay, and it helps them so much. I like to conclude.
Well, we have to get going. I'm afraid. Wait, real quick, in a sentence.
Okay. So, to make a good integration for immigrants people, help them to preserve their religion and their faith in good way.
Yeah, excellent.
You avoid fundamentalist like this. Thank you.
So sorry that we're out of time. You had a lot of folks
so
with good questions. Yeah. And by the way, it's Our Lady of Lebanon Church in Lombard, Illinois, for John. Thank you, Abuna.
Thanks.
And join me in blessing our people. May Almighty God bless you all and keep you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And we can bring you Father Jean Maroon and all the other guests and programs because the network is brought to you who keep us in between your gas bill, electric bill, and cable bill, making it possible to pay our bills too. Thank you, and God bless.